It is amazing how things sneak up on you. You don't realize that a specific amount of time has passed. And in ways, it feels like that amount of time is too long. And then there are ways in which it feels too short. And then you realize that just means it's exactly where it was supposed to be. Today is June 24th, 2026. I'm late to the podcast this week. I got a little sidetracked this morning doing stuff that was really fun. I had to change the energy of the apartment. We just had some kind of like a collective family bad day yesterday. So we have shaken that off and we're ready to move on with another episode of Trent Takes On 2.0. Let's do it. As I stated before, this is Trent Takes On 2.0. I did not celebrate last week's episode. I was so excited to just get it done and get it out because I was in a hurry. It was just a tremendous hurry last week. Less of a hurry this week. I mean, the World Cup is on and I have World Cup fever. So, Scotland, Brazil's coming up. I'm pretty excited about that match. Anyway, Trent Takes On 2.0 last week's episode was the 100th episode of Trent Takes On 2.0. Woo! Now you add that to the 120 odd or whatever it was that I did of the original Trent Takes On program, which is not currently available to stream anywhere. Every once in a while I post a classic in this feed and you can kind of catch the flavor of the old show. It was a lot more mellow. The old show, here's a fun fact about today. The old show went away 4 years ago tomorrow. I think it was tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or today. Was the final episode of the original Trent Takes On. That is the 4th anniversary. Today is the 4th anniversary of the Dobbs decision handed down by the United States Supreme Court. You know what? It is today. I did it the same day. The final episode of the original Trent Takes On was about the Dobbs decision and about how bodily autonomy had been ripped away from half of our population with one fell swoop, and you no longer control what happens to your body. So, woo! Awesome sauce. That's great. Actually, it's terrible. It's one of the worst decisions ever. They threw out precedent because they just fucking felt like it. And if you have to quote laws from the 16th century, and that's what Alito did in his opinion, you are wrong. Okay? There you go. We know a lot more 600 years later. So, asshole. Anyway, we are in 2026. Dobbs is in the back rearview mirror. We still got to fix that. It's still on the list. It's actually fairly high on the list. We're going to try to do that with a federal law. We're not going to be able to do that with a bunch of Republicans in charge. So, how does episode 101 get rolling? Like I'm all over the place. I'm talking about anniversaries, both good and bad. I'm talking about milestones, both good and, whatever, lukewarm. I want to talk this week about the swamp, the swampiest pond in the world. Because it's a really impressive metaphor for everything that's going on in the White House today. And of course, I'm talking about the reflecting pool, which is a I don't remember how many acres it is. It's very large. It's a large, man-made, about 2 feet deep pool that sits between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument I forget what it's called, the mall outside Washington D.C. Mall, the Capitol Mall. Anyway, Washington D.C. is loaded with all of these incredible monuments to history, including the reflecting pool. The reflecting pool is over 100 years old. It is not perfect because it's impossible for it to be perfect. For it to be reflective, it needs to be still. So for it to be still, you can't like put pool filtration on it because it's not going to be still water. For years and years and years and years and years, they used water from the Potomac River to fill it. I'm going to put that out front, and not what they call potable water or drinking water, because, well, you would be wasting about 20 million gallons of potable water a year to put into a reflecting pool that you don't want to drink from. Anyway, the reflecting pool was not perfect. It's made of granite. It does have certain cracks, certain nuances in it that allowed for a bit of water loss. Also, you had evaporation water loss, but you had some water loss, and you constantly kind of had to replenish it. Now, you did get, a bit of algae every once in a while. It's not too bad. It's cyclical. But generally speaking, algae, either the weather is too cold for algae, or the pool is too warm, or not warm enough for algae because it had a white bottom, natural granite. Now, Donald Trump, the Mad King himself, decided he needed to take it upon himself. That was about a month ago, but about 5-6 weeks ago. He decided to take it upon himself that he's going to fix this fucking thing that he thinks is ugly and has problems. Sometimes there's algae that grows in it. It's not perfect. So he is going to fix it in time for our 250th birthday. So he gives what's called a no bid contract to his pool guy from Mar-a-Lago and other places. Who, if you've seen pictures of this guy, oh my God, somebody kill that rug on his head. He looks like a mobster. It is wild. He wears the craziest wig, toupee. I don't know how much of that hair is real, but not all of it. That's for damn sure. That is, I would say, not believable. It's not a believable hairpiece. Anyway, it's fine to be bald. I shaved my head I didn't razor it, but I buzzed it with a shaver for 20 odd years. And then about 3 years ago, I just said, hell with that. I'm just going to let my hair grow because I don't know. I think I want to be a small Santa when I retire. When I retire from working age. I don't know. Anyway, so he gives this no bid contract to this pool guy who runs hilariously. Green is the name of the place is Greenwater something hilarious, right? Greenwater, yeah, Greenwater is the name of the company. Gives this no bid contract to him because he has to have it done in a hurry. So we don't have time for the normal system of bids where different contractors would put in their bid for, well, we can do it for this much, and here's what we're going to do, and then you choose the bid that is going to properly complete the job for the best price. That's what the way the government usually works. We have a project that we need done, and so we're gonna contract it out. And so we'll contract all these experts. We'll contact all these experts to put in bids on this contract to do this thing that we need done. So that's not what happened here. This was a no-bid contract that Donald Trump gave to his pool guy because, his pool guys got this. So they come in, they drain the reflecting pool. And what do? They put a rubber sealant in it, polyurethane, I think it is, polyurethane sealant, all over it and paint it dark blue. Now, Donald Trump went on and on and on about how, tough this stuff was, that you couldn't cut it with a knife. That's what he said. Look it up. And that it's this special American flag blue. It's this special blue that is truly beautiful and truly part of the American blah, blah, blah. American flag blue. And he talked about it incessantly. And when they were doing this, when they had started this project, Trump actually took the presidential motorcade. Him in the armored car that they drive him around in, and all of the protection that he goes with, drove over to the reflecting pool as it was drained already, and they drove down the ramp into it where the contractors were working to tour this thing. They drove the vehicles, the whole motorcade. Look it up. I swear to God, you'd think it was a fucking Onion story. It's so ludicrous that they wanted to go and look at this. You wanted to go look at your pool guy painting the floor of your pool. That's what it was. So they paint this thing, this whole giant reflecting pool that Donald Trump points out time and time again is bigger than skyscrapers. He's leaving out that it's 2 feet deep, but that it's larger than skyscrapers. Now he's comparing a wading pool to a skyscraper, which is just bonkers to start with. And he wants you to understand the scope of this thing, how immense it is. If you've been keeping up with this story from like in real life and not just on this podcast, I apologize because a lot of this is probably repetition. You've heard this before. But for those of you who haven't, think about this. I want you to think about the whole thing. If you have heard it, you still need to think about the whole thing. So they paint this whole thing American flag blue. Donald Trump is so proud of it. They fill it up and he talks about how incredibly beautiful it is. The Department of Interior is releasing photos of how beautiful this thing is. Now, they've been AI doctoring the photos because, you know how we know that? Because we have matching photos with the clouds in the exact same places, which you know what I mean. Come on now, son. We're not stupid. And it may not be AI, it may be Photoshop, but we know these people and they are as lazy as humanly possible. So of course it was AI. All right. So he's done this. And then about a week after they've refilled the pool, the algae shows up. And not just a little algae. Horrifying algae. Thick, swampy, crazy algae. Crazy algae. And not only that, but the blue pool liner that they put in, this polyurethane liner, is coming up and falling apart. Bits and pieces of it everywhere. They try to treat it because they're trying to treat the algae. They poured thousands of gallons of hydrogen peroxide, 14% hydrogen peroxide, kids, the really powerful stuff, into the reflecting pool to kill the algae. Well, you know what it did? It killed like the first 7-8 feet of it. All the algae in the middle remained the same, but it killed all the edges. And the bonus, it's killing the ducks that land in the reflecting pool and swim around. So there's a bunch of baby ducks that are dead now too. So just put it on the death toll for this president who kills all kinds of shit and doesn't care, because that's how they roll, right? Fuck the little stuff. If you were stronger, you would survive. There's a real Darwinism about this regime. It's kind of like, yeah, fuck them all. If they'll figure it out and live, or they'll all die, you know? Who needs to feed the poor? Blah, blah, blah. You know, this kind of shit coming out of these people. And you know what? I'm getting kind of sick of it. I'd like to see these rich motherfuckers that were born with a silver spoon up their ass try and fucking live like a regular person for a while. What a joke. Anyway, they pour hydrogen peroxide in. And guess what that does? That makes all of the paint come off faster. Because hydrogen peroxide weakens adhesion. Who knew? Oh, anybody that's ever used hydrogen peroxide to remove like tape or adhesive residue from your skin, if you like had a bandage on or something, you know, you can use hydrogen peroxide and just kind of rub it and it'll come right off. Yeah. So why wouldn't we use hydrogen peroxide? So now the whole thing is surrounded by a chain link fence. They put that up yesterday. And they have constant patrols of different federal agents, from everything from U.S. Marshals to the United States National Guard to different sheriff's departments that have been temporarily deputized into the Parks Service. Parks and Reich, that's what the joke is. That's pretty funny. I mean, scary, but funny. And they're running around arresting people for taking pictures or reaching in and pulling out these floating pieces of the bottom of the pool. What is this? And then they slap you in cuffs. And Judge Jeanine Pirro, also known as the fucking federal attorney for the District of Washington, D.C., which just blows the mind. Judge Boxawine is in charge of prosecutions. Is trying to throw the book at these quote-unquote vandals. And you see, that's the thing. Donald Trump has decided that the problem with the reflecting pool is not that they're completely incompetent. It's that vandals and Democrat terrorists are sabotaging it. That's the thing. Now, it is crazy, isn't it? All of that is fucking nuts. All of that is almost, it's so, if it were an episode of Veep, it would not be believable. People would go, nope. If it were a sitcom episode, people would say, no, too dumb. Too stupid. First, they grab a hold of what they call an issue. Maybe it's an issue, maybe it's not. In this case, the reflecting pool isn't perfect. Well, if you talk to the experts, there is no way to make it perfect. It's not possible. It's a giant artificial standing body of water. It will not stay pristine. It will not be filtered and still be still. And the filtration that you would need is massive. It will cost you 20 million gallons a year of potable water if you choose to fill it with city water, which they did. Wow, city water, potable city water is treated with special enzymes that algae feed on. Also, fun fact, algae grow in warmer waters. And if you paint the bottom of the pool blue, it absorbs heat and makes the water hotter. Whereas if it were white and reflective, not only would you be able to, see reflections in the top of the still water, but the water would be cooler because it's not absorbing the sun's heat. So the combination of blue paint, American flag blue paint, city water, no filtration. It doesn't take a fucking genius to tell you that you just created a giant, shallow pond. And those of us from the American South will tell you what happens in those ponds. You get massive algae blooms. It's not from some domestic terrorist, which, for the record, I don't think that introducing algae to a public pond or pool is the act of terrorism you think it is. What a fucking joke. It's not vandals. He's claiming that somebody got inside and cut a 300-foot slit into the bottom of it with a knife or a box cutter. The same material that he swore you couldn't cut with a knife. Also, what? Who the hell is going in there and cutting a 300-foot slit and not being noticed? This is an outdoor public area that has people around it all the time. They want you to believe a falsehood. That's why they kept releasing pictures of how perfect it was through the Department of Interior. Look at how amazing we made this. When in reality, people who were actually visiting it were like, look at this video I took at the reflecting pool. This algae is gross and it's so thick and heavy. And look, this blue paint is like flaking off in these giant rubber pieces. Donald Trump threatened to have a journalist from ABC named Jonathan Karl imprisoned for perpetrating this vandalism on camera because he picked up a piece of this shit out of the fucking reflecting pool and said, this is the kind of thing that's happening. What? Are you fucking crazy? What kind of crazy ass world is this? Oh, that's right. It's a fascist authoritarian one where the dictator gets to make up laws and ignore laws that the legislation passes that he doesn't like. I'll just ignore that one. Fuck it. I'm going to install my own laws. The laws like that require contractors know what the fuck they're doing before they get government money. You see, but Donald Trump can't blame the contractor here, can he? Because originally he said it would cost $1 million. $1 million. And then it was $12.4 million. And we all went, well, that's a big fucking cry from $1 million. You've increased the price by 12 times. And then it was $13.6 million. And now it's $16.6 million. And now they need more money because they have to drain it and fix what the vandals did. Seriously. And who do you think is getting kickbacks from Trump's pool guy? Maybe it's just a deal to do Trump's pools for free forever. Could be. One of those quiet behind the scenes agreements. But I got a question. Do you think that there's any universe in which that contract, that no-bid contract, isn't crooked as fuck? I don't see one. Everything this administration does is some form of corruption or abuse, some way to grift off of the American taxpayer, some way to circumvent the law, some way to punish any sort of pushback that Donald Trump gets. Everything from his Department of Justice being completely weaponized in the irony of all ironies. The thing that they screamed about at the top of their fucking lungs was that the Biden Department of Justice was weaponizing the DOJ against peaceful people, Trump supporters, Trump and his people, when in fact all they did was present evidence the way they're supposed to. Grand juries gave it out indictments the way they're supposed to. These indictments turned into trials when people pled not guilty, and these people were found guilty, including Donald John Trump himself, found guilty of 34 cases of fraud against the state of New York. When you lose a case in court where a jury finds you guilty, that's not weaponization of the Department of Justice. It's not. If a jury of your peers finds you guilty, you're guilty. That's the way it is. Even you, Hunter Biden, who was charged for shit that no one else had ever been charged with, the way he was charged for it, but jury found him guilty. He was guilty. He was pardoned by his father. I don't blame him for that, for the record, because they would have continued to go after him. It's true. They would have gone after a whole bunch of people that Biden pardoned because Trump had an enemies list, and part of it was fucking public. And he pardoned the people who were on the public enemies list. Most of them. Comey, sorry, bro. John Bolton, Bolton's going to go to prison. However fucking old that guy is. And for the record, he's not a good person, and he's done shit that's worthy of going to prison. What they got him on? Transmission of classified documents, careless handling of classified documents. He emailed something to his daughter or whatever it was, or his publisher. I don't know. But careless handling of classified documents landed him in prison. Holy shit. Wait till I tell you what happened at Mar-a-Lago when Donald Trump stole dozens of super classified documents and kept them after repeated demands that they be returned. What a joke. See, shit like this, the reflecting pool fiasco, I don't know what we're going to call it. I call it the swampiest pool in the world. Donald Trump used to talk about draining the swamp, taking the corruption out of D.C., which of course was projection, because it's always projection with this fucking guy. It's always, hey, look at sleepy Joe Biden. Meanwhile, he's over there sawing logs like Rip Van fucking Winkle. There's an interesting, I can't believe I just made a Rip Van Winkle reference. This guy's always projecting. What he's actually doing, he accuses other people of doing. It's always projection. Every single time. When he says these people are corrupt, he means he's corrupt. When he says these people are cheating in elections, he's the one cheating in elections. When he says these are the people that have committed fraud against the American people, he's the one that's committed fraud against the American people. When he says these people lie, he's the one that lies. When he calls it fake news and the bad media and blah, 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 it's all him. It's always projection. It's every single time it's projection. And this thing, this swamp, this reflecting pool swamp is the perfect metaphor for the Donald Trump 2.0 experience. The corruption and abuse is unreal to the point where they're now arresting people for vandalism, for taking photos. They're not even photos. They're just digital images on a phone now. Photos dates me. Photo implies photograph, meaning chemical development of negatives. Seriously, folks. I come from a different time. But I'm here from that time to tell you that it doesn't have to fucking be like this. These people are corrupt and abusive, and they don't fucking care who knows. Their plan is to cheat. Their plan is to deny that they've lost. They're going to Costanza all of us. They're going to say, nope, never happened. I didn't do that. And they're going to sit right there in front of you and go, what? You thought I was serious? We can't allow that. We are the people who make this country. This country is not the document. This country is not the borders. This country is not Donald Trump. This country is not Washington, D.C. This country is 340 million people who were born on this soil or naturalized to it, plus every single person who has come here in pursuit of that dream, because it is we, the people, who are the first three words that created this thing. This country is us. We allow that government to run us. This society is ours. We allow it to operate the way it operates. We can elect representatives that choose not to take corporate money and instead tell corporations, you have to stop breaking the laws, and we're going to start tightening up those laws and changing the fucking rules of the game because you've been abusing them for too long. We have that power. Not Donald Trump. Fuck that guy. That guy is an asshole. He says it all the time. We're better than that. We're supposed to be better than that. We're stronger than that. We are stronger than that. All you need to do is watch non-Fox News, and you'll start to fucking figure that out. If you start paying attention to independent news outlets who are reporting the truth, instead of the fucking propaganda of Fox News, instead of the fucking propaganda that Barry Weiss has brought to CBS, which is now owned by Donald Trump lackey Larry Ellison and his little boy, Davey. Nepo baby number one. They are running CBS into the fucking dirt. They have turned an American journalistic institution called 60 Minutes into a fucking clown show. All to serve this fake fucko. This emperor with no clothes. And I know that image just sucks, doesn't it? It sucks. That fat fucker, orange painted with his fake blonde hair, pathetic, with his makeup covering up the bruises on his hands, with this guy's in best shape of anybody ever. All he does is drink fucking Diet Cokes and eat McDonald's and fucking play golf. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. He's 80. He's lost his fucking mind. You can't watch him speak for more than 10 minutes without going, that guy's a fucking nut. He's gone. He couldn't keep a train of thought if it were the only thing on the tracks, and the tracks were secured in with really tight walls. Oh, God. Tortured metaphor. I blame myself for that one. I just kind of went for it, and I didn't really have anywhere to go. But at least I realized it. Donald Trump doesn't realize what he's saying. He just goes and goes and goes. He talks about bullshit all the time because that's who he is, and that's what he's good at. He's good at bullshit, and he's good at projecting. He's good at telling you that somebody else did something that he did. He's good at telling bullshit stories about how veterans come up to him crying and giving him their Purple Heart. I earned this Purple Heart. Shut up. Don't take a fucking medal from a veteran. God damn, how fucking how shallow, how worthless are you really that you have to take medals from veterans, people who fucking served this country, who fucking selflessly got hurt in the line of battle. This guy who has to put his fucking name on everything because he's terrified. He's fucking terrified that he's going to be forgotten. He wants more than nothing else to be considered one of the greatest, most powerful leaders in history. And you know what he's going to go down as? The biggest fucking con man we've ever encountered. And everything he's done is just like that fucking pool. Swampy, covered in algae, with blue garbage coming up off the bottom of it. Shoddy, shitty, worthless. Just like everything he makes. Everything is supposed to be a fucking a testament to him and his greatness. Trump Tower, Trump this, Trump that, Trump, the United States of Trump. Fuck you. We don't need this shit. My partner, and I love her more than anything, tells me sometimes that all of this is so overwhelming that, like, she wants to move to another country. She just wants to get the fuck out of here. She just wants to escape it. And I get that feeling. I fucking get it. I have it sometimes. But then I remember, this is my fucking country. I live here. I was born here. My friends are here. My loved ones are here. My memories are here. My home is here. My future is here. My kids are here. My kids' future is here. Fuck him. He can't steal this from us. That's what I say. And we're not going to let him. We're going to vote out his cronies and we're going to start holding them accountable. We're going to expose everything that they've done to break the law, to be abusive, to be corrupt. We're going to expose, maybe not all of it because there's going to be so much. Technically speaking, you don't have to do all of it, just enough to get the idea across. This guy is fucking tearing down our country. He's tearing down our society. He's tearing us apart because he's got some weird cultish hold on people who just want to be assholes. People just want to be assholes, and he empowers them to be assholes. He emboldens them to be assholes. He gives them a permission structure to be assholes. We get to be assholes, so we are on board with Donald Trump. Fuck him. Fuck you, your asshole self. That's what I said. Oh my God. I have lost it today. I'm on a tear. This is the most explicit episode in the 200 plus episodes I've ever done. And that includes some stuff where I actually said the F-bomb a lot on purpose. So for those of you who are offended by the language, my apologies. It is done for emphasis. Some people say that vulgarity is the sign of a poor vocabulary, which in some cases I'm sure is true. I use vulgarity as emphasis. Vulgarity with me carries emotion. So when I drop an F-bomb, it means I'm pretty serious. Or I'm pretty upset. Or anyway, my kids hear it all the time. And I apologize to them. Sorry, kids. But this is the way normal people voice their frustration. If you don't believe me, stub your toe really badly on your coffee table, and I mean just barefoot, just stub the hell out, just kick that sumbitch. You can be the big toe or any of the little toes. It doesn't matter. Anything on the front of your foot, just kick the hell out of your coffee table and see how that goes over. You will curse because it makes you feel better. Watch Mythbusters. It's in there. The cursing actually makes you feel better. It's a true story. So I wanted to come on today. I wanted to talk about the swampy mess. I wanted to talk about the corruption. I wanted to talk about the abuse. And I wanted to talk about the fact that that stupid project that he swears is the greatest fucking thing for weeks. And now he's like, well, vandals have ruined it. He's full of shit. He was full of shit when he was saying it was the greatest thing ever. He was full of shit when he said that they had a great plan. He was full of shit when he brought in the best person to do this shit. The whole thing is just a big, fat, swampy boondoggle of a mess. And it's the perfect metaphor for what he's done. There are so many corrupt things that he's done. Everything from crypto to taking the Qatari plane, which he unveiled this week after $900 million in upgrades to make it the Flying White House. And don't forget, at the end of this term, it's being donated to his presidential library. This thing that was gifted to the United States is then going to be gifted to the Donald Trump presidential library? I don't think we signed off on that. Especially after you dumped $900 million into retrofitting it. That's our money. Are you fucking kidding me? Woof. And there's an incredible book that's coming out by Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, where they got interviews that are fucking crazy about the corruption that's going on in the White House. And according to the words of Jonathan Swan, who has been compiling this book for the last fucking 18 months, he said, I think that we only know about 1, maybe as much as 5% of the corruption that's going on. Oh, mamacita. That is crazy. If what we know isn't all of it, oh my God. I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around it. That pool is everything. That pool is what we should think about. And for the record, when he says shit like Barack Hussein Obama filled it with lake water or with river water, remember 2 things. Number 1, Donald John Trump, dickhead, never refers to Barack Obama as president. It's never President Barack Obama. It's never President Obama. It's always Barack Hussein Obama. As if he has to throw that middle name in to remind everybody how racist he is. It's racism, plain and simple. Why no one calls him out on it? I don't know. Hussein, Barack, fuck you. Also, like I pointed out, he used river water because A, it's the right water to use. B, it's not wasting 20 million gallons of potable water from the DC area every year. Do you know how much water that's fucking insane? And just for fun, dipshit, jackass, everything you've done, experts have said would happen. Everything that he did, experts said this would happen. A, that coating's not going to stay on. B, you're going to get massive algae blooms. See, that just doesn't work. It's not a pool. And there you go. The experts were right, as usual. So, take all that with you when you go about your day and you think about how fucked up all this is. And don't back down from the moment. Okay? I want to share with you a couple of personal anecdotes. I don't mean me personally, actually. Somebody in my life, somebody that I'm very close to, has received a new job offer because this person, they were not happy in their situation, so they have decided to change it. And they did everything they could to make sure that their job as they were at it was the best they could do while looking for something else. And that person has received an offer. I'm hoping that it all works out exactly the way this person wants, because it's awesome. It's a huge upgrade, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So congratulations to my friend, who I'm not going to name because, none of this is official. Also, another person that I'm really close to that I act as an advisor for, had a moment where they stood up for themselves and their work group in the face of some tech stuff that was not working properly. And it's sometimes, I tell you, it's really hard to stand up in front of your bosses and a whole bunch of other people and say, my experience with this is not good. Because, they've invested money in tech. They don't want to hear that it doesn't work the way they want it to. But they have to hear the truth. And that's one of those things. The truth always comes out. Sometimes it takes a long time. It always comes out. The truth, you can't hide from it forever. You can throw up distractions. You can start wars that you lose. You can paint pools. You can build ballrooms. Do whatever you want to try and distract from the truth. But the truth never goes away. It's still there. It's still waiting to be discovered. And when it does, when it comes out, the longer the truth stays hidden, the more painful it is to learn. So all that's coming, my friends. The truth always comes. And when we find out just how bad all of this corruption and abuse is, it's going to make us sick. And we're going to have to do everything in our power to make sure that this kind of abuse, this kind of corruption, this kind of just horrific malfeasance of power. Take that, vocabulary nerds. Never happens again. Because although I firmly believe we will not only survive this, but have a chance to unspool it, I don't know if we'll survive another round of it. So, take heart, my friends. Thank you for being with me on this journey. Thank you to those who originally tuned in for Plattner and stuck around through this. The Plattner episode remains very highly listened to. I think that there were some disagreements over that one, too. People are mad. They want their politicians squeaky clean. Okay. Careful what you wish for. But thank you. Thank you for being here anyway. Thank you for hate listening. If you hate listen, you rock. It takes a special kind of person to listen through 45 minutes of me screaming at the top of my lungs, F-bomb, 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 Trump's a shithead. But if you did it, impressive shit. Also, special shout out to one of my kids, my middle daughter, my 12-year-old, really gutsy, is owning like she went for a cool haircut, like a really cool adult haircut, and it just looks great on her. And I know that this is feels like a kind of silly thing to say, well, my kid has a great haircut, a really cool adult haircut that she wants to be even more aggressive next time. But it says a lot about the person that she's becoming, and I'm really proud of her. So I'm proud of you, kid. I'll be back soon with another episode of Trent Takes On. I guess it'll be episode 102. So I hope you enjoyed 101. And remember out there, guys, it's the tiny kindnesses that set us apart. It's the saying hello. It's holding a door open. It's smiling at people. It's being kind. The tiny kindnesses, the little things that we can do just in our everyday life, just in our walking around, and you can repeat them over and over and over again. Those are the things that actually move the world in a positive direction. Those are the things that can change a person's heart. They can change a person's day. They can change your juju magumbo. Like I had a bad day and I needed something positive. And what did I do? I put something positive out into the world and it came right back to me. And that's the good stuff. So be good humans, all right? It's the least we can do. You don't have to love each other, but by God, it'd be really nice if you liked each other. Until next time,